Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an Airbus A330 pilot, and today we are going to have a look at the brand new update of the iniBuilds Airbus A340-300. And just fittingly, we are going to take it on a ferry flight from the maintenance station over in Düsseldorf back to its home base in Frankfurt, which is just about a quick 30-minute hop that Lufthansa does fly regularly in the real world as well. And if you don't believe me, then just have a look at Flight Radar 24 yourself over here. So this is what they look like. As you can see, they're ferrying the aircraft over in like the morning on the first day of maintenance, then that's on 27th here, then it spends the 28th here, then it comes back on 29th and then already goes off to its next flight. So that's quite the cool thing, isn't it? Those very short 30-minute trips here between Düsseldorf and Frankfurt. Well, but before we actually go into our flight, let's have a look at what iniBuilds have actually changed with the update, because there's quite a lot of stuff in here again, just like you would expect from them. Now, I tend to say that there is so much stuff in here that I don't really want to go into the full detail of everything, but much rather we are simply going to take her out for a flight and explore what she looks like now. Alright, so let's go ahead and board our Airbus A340 on our short 30-minute trip over to Düsseldorf. Now the first thing that I want to show, and that's the reason why we're boarding through two left rather than one left here, even though we've got stairs and everyone, is that the sound of the windmilling engines has been remixed and is quite a bit better now. I mean, just listen to it. You don't have that super loud sound anymore. I think it is really a lot more realistic right now, which I do absolutely appreciate. Alright then. So, follow me inside and follow me up to the flight deck. While we're walking up, I just want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Sane Tensions AI. If you're looking for an ATC add-on that can not just do your standard IFR A to B flight, but also other things like data link, VFR, and even a cabin crew simulation, then pay good attention to our air traffic control in today's video. Now, this being a ferry flight, obviously we are neither going to use the VFR portion nor the cabin crew, but we will absolutely be using the ATC as well as the data link capabilities, at least for the IFR clearance. Germany in lower levels doesn't use CPDLC in the real world either. Alright then, and with those basics out of the way, let's go ahead, take a seat, and then we'll get right there. Now, one of the first things that is worth mentioning at this point is that the aircraft does indeed, or did indeed, get another sound remix, so let's just listen to a couple of the sounds here as we are about to set her up. First thing I noticed is battery voltage is below 25.5. That means we'll have to charge it using the external power, but we can do that no problem. So, voltage is good except for the APU battery, engine masters off, start selector norm, weather radar off, landing gear lever down, and the wipers are off. Then let's turn the batteries on. New click sounds right there. And then we can turn on the external power as well. Alright, and here she is, coming to life. Now, with power applied, let's give her a little bit of time to boot up over here, and while that's going on, we are going to have a look into our flight plan and into the details of what we are going to do today. So, weather, Düsseldorf, QNH 1008, let's already set that. It's kind of my habit whenever I see QNH, I dial it in so that I don't forget about it. And then let's have a look into the flight plan. So, there won't be all that much to say about our en route portion, of course. A little bit of turbulence there below level 160. We're Falcon 17, so might as well just keep flight level 150 or just descend again if it becomes necessary. That should be easy going. Alright, so for the weather, Düsseldorf, clear skies, 10 degrees, and westerly winds. Frankfurt, almost the same thing. And our alternate in Hahn is beautiful as well, so that's gonna be all easy going. Now let's go ahead and scroll up a little bit. On-time departure, on-time arrival, level 170. Now the question is, do we need any extra fuel over what we got here? That's 8.5 plus 600 gives me 9.1, so if we do want to add a little bit, then let's just make that 10 tons, and that should be absolutely fine, including the CF hour. So 10 tons of fuel it is. Let's go ahead and import all from SimBrief over here. As you can see, 0 packs count, 0 cargo, and for the fueling, let's go down here and give it 10 tons. Like that. Perfect, and then we can just do an instant load over here. Beautiful. Okay, so we don't need any GSX services. God, I love this. Then let's go down into the charts, Düsseldorf, departure, and we need the AGC and the APC, and then also the runway 23 left, south and east charts. Should be that one, I think. Let's have a look. Yep, Cola is on here. Lovely, and then the same thing for the SID PTs. So 23 left, southeast, that's that one, and pinned. Alright, then let's have a look into our takeoff performance. Our weight is going to be 133 tons. So, Düsseldorf, runway 23 left, we have about 2,645 meters from the intersection. Synchronize the weather, takeoff weight 133,000, flaps 2, air conditioning off. Of course, operationally flaps 2 wouldn't be necessary over here, but it's SOP in the Lufthansa group, so gonna do that. Alright, so 55 degrees, speeds are looking good. Surprise, we can take off, who would have thought that? Alright, easy going, that's our initial EFB setup completed down here. Now, one thing that iniBuilds did not fix yet is the status page popping up all the time, which is a little bit annoying, but okay, so be it, can't do much about it right now. Okay, so looking down into the FMS, A340-300, CFM56, nav database is up to date, and you can see the old one is still in the secondary over there, but the new one is already installed. Let's go to the init page and do our flight plan initialization. Again, you can hear the new click sounds over there, and here we go. So, flight number 9917 from 23 left to 25 right, Düsseldorf to Frankfurt. Okay. Thank you very much. We are gonna take that. Alright then, so ADRs 1, 2, 3, APU fire test. Even though we don't really need the APU just yet, doing the test is still SOP at this point in time. Okay, so recall for 3 seconds, especially when taking an airplane out of maintenance. That's important to do, because you never know what may or may not have been done that has not been documented. Now, technical status of the plane is good, and in terms of the aircraft summary, it's an A340-300, no automatic nav on go around, the rest is all standard. Okay. Well, with that out of the way, let's have a look at the oxygen pressure, which is good. Hydraulic quantities are good. Engine oil quantity. Now, here's a fun fact. I once collected an A330 out of a month of maintenance, and the oil quantity on one of the engines basically read 0. Now, the engineer was like, well, but it came in with full oil, and we never saw anything leaking, so it just has to be there. What did the engineer do? Just did a manual engine start without adding fuel. The entire plane shook like something. But at some point there were like 10 quarts of oil back there, which was sufficient to fly her back home because they didn't have any oil available locally. Talk about maintenance. Alright, flaps are up, and that agrees with the lever. Spoilers retracted. Then let's do the alternate brakes test. And it looks like that buck is still in there. That we see no pressure while the shocks are still in place. So let's remove them here momentarily. Press, checked, release, and park and brake is set again. Alright, chocks back in position. We can also close 2 left and 4 left already. At this point, while the pilot flying is doing the setup, the pilot monitoring would do the safety check for the entire cabin. Okay, well, that is looking good for now. Then I think the preliminary is complete. Let's start with the flight deck preparation. Now, there isn't all that much to do here. Gonna leave the APU off for the time being. Battery voltage is back up. That's good. Then let's quickly do the battery check. And that is looking good indeed, and temperature is dropping, perfect. Now that sound is a little bit exaggerated. That button isn't all that loud. Might have to send them a little bit more feedback. And the flight recorder still not fixed up there. Okay, so main panel. That's done. Today is the 30th of October 25. Status page. You should not open yourself. That is annoying. Okay, frequencies we'll come to a little bit later on. For now, we want to listen to VHF 1, 2, and the intercom. And radar tilt +5, weather and turbulence. Middle is set, right is set. Well then, let's go down into our FMS setup. I will be using my WinWing MCDU to make all the inputs, if you're wondering, but I am, of course, talking about everything so that you guys are able to follow along. So, we are departing from Düsseldorf to Frankfurt, Lufthansa 99017, cost NX30, cruising at flight level 170. Scratchpad messages are checked, then let's go for the departure. From Düsseldorf, 23 left, and we have the Cola 6 Tango departure. Today, insert, and then arriving in Frankfurt with an ILS Yankee approach, runway 25 right. There it is, and the roll is 5 Alpha arrival. Okay, approach via is going to be Delta Fox 426, like that. Insert. Alright, now let's go data, pilot's waypoint, Düsseldorf X, I think it should be 3 for 23 left. The question comes up every now and then, like, how do I actually determine the numbers? And that's quite an easy one. So you basically just go by alphabetical order. Namely, that means you start with runway 05 left, because L comes before R in the alphabet. And that means that runway 05 left is going to be Düsseldorf emergency 1. Then you continue along the line and you've got the emergency 2 for runway 05 right, and then 23 left is next in alphabetical order. So naturally that is going to be emergency number 3. And that's basically how we do the naming convention. Now, a couple of them may seem a little bit out of order at times. For example, Frankfurt 25 Center is emergency 5, while there are just 4 other runways below it in the alphabet. That has an historical sense there, but honestly, that might just get a little bit too complex to talk about right now. Basically, in the real world, those figures are given by the airline anyway, so it's nothing that the pilot can say like, oh, I want to name it that way. No, you look into the FlySmart app, and then that is what you are going to use. Easy as that. Okay, so flaps 5, and we had 55 degrees of flex. Takeoff shift was like 300 meters. And then let's see about the exact figures. So 31, 34, 42. Okay, here's a new one. The engine out acceleration altitude is suddenly missing. That's a bug. Now, thrust reduction acceleration 1000 each, engine out should be at like 1600. Can we enter that manually? Nope. Okay, well that's a new one. Deread climb 2 of course, and on the progress page Düsseldorf 23 left. And that's our general entries completed. Then let's go ahead and confirm our SID. Alright, so straight at 2, Delta Lima 239 above 3000, left turn Delta Lima 241, and we got 239 above 3000, then we have 241, and then we continue by 244, lit me above level 150, 244, lit me, 150 above, 2 cola, and that's it. Alright, easy going. So, flight director's on, climbing 5000, and you also get your flight director. And that's it, that's our setup completed. Let's go ahead and collect our IFR clearance straight away. So, ATC.com. Next page, let's start with the ATIS actually. So, we need the departure ATIS for Düsseldorf. That should be there automatically, by the way. The /departure and /arrival for the FMC arrival airport as well. And we are gonna go for Say Intentions AI. Okay, request. And if we're on it already, let's do Frankfurt as well. It is a short flight after all. And both of them requested. Okay, now the big question is, where is it going to deliver that? Normally it should just print them. But I think there was a little bug there in the past. If you went into the AOC menu, received messages. Nope. Okay, well then I really don't know where it's going to deliver those. But let's just go back to the ATC menu, next page, and do the departure request. We're an A340-300 going from Düsseldorf to Frankfurt. Our gate is... oh, what is it? I honestly have no idea. Let's check the chart. We're at Victor 39 Alpha. That way, station will be Düsseldorf. And ATIS code, do we have anything by now? No? Okay. On here, if we go to the ATSU, that's a change with the new update, by the way. ALC menu, received messages, no, nothing. And if you go over into the message record here, also nothing. Oh, okay, so no ATIS for us. In that case, I'll just call it Alpha. Alright. So, departure, request pre-departure clearance, Lufthansa 9917, 340-300 to Frankfurt at Düsseldorf stand 39 Alpha, ATIS Alpha. Sent. Okay, and sent. Lovely. So, by now our IRSs are aligned. Perfect. Then, while we're waiting, let's do the departure briefing, please. So we're departing Düsseldorf, runway 23 left, Cola 6 Tango departure, initial climb 5000, MSA 2400, and what else do we have? Extra fuel and time, basically 1000 kilos, giving us 10 minutes. So we've got no hotspots for our taxi out, stop margin will be more than plenty, and in case of straight at 25 miles, pick up the holding over there. Well, with nothing special. If we need to return, we are below the max landing weight. We can also just continue Frankfurt in case anything happens. Unless it's an unextinguishable fire, then we'll just fly traffic pattern, come back. I've got nothing special, I've got nothing non-standard. One thing that is worth mentioning though is our aircraft. So in terms of threats, the plane comes right out of maintenance, we don't know its technical status, and that's actually very true because, well, it has received a new update and we don't know that technical status just yet. So yeah, plane is freshly out of maintenance, that means we don't really know if there is anything hidden, so just be prepared for the unexpected, and that's really all. Any questions? Nope. Alright. So, here's our clearance. If no response in 2 minutes, request new flight and app. Okay, close. And here we go. Here's our clearance. So, clear to Frankfurt, Cola 6 Tango departure, runway 23 left. That's confirmed. Maintain 5000. That's also confirmed. Departure on 128.655, squawk 1000, expect runway 23 left. Oh. Hello there.
Wings 8 uniform Mike, radar contact, climb and maintain 11, 1000.
I think we broke it.
1000, Eurowings 8 uniform Mike.
Okay, so Squawk 1000 goes in here. Let's just quickly see if you can still review this. Okay, to Frankfurt, Cola 6 Tango 5000, 128655, Squawk 1000, 2-3 left. Okay, easy. And just as a reminder, 128655. Okay, cool. Then we got our clearance. What does it say company message up there? There's literally nothing in here. Is that old bug still not fixed? Yeah, looks like we just have to open them all in here. That's a bug, definitely not supposed to be like this. Okay, anyway, our clearance is confirmed. And I suppose then we can start with the cockpit preparation checklist, please. Gear pins and covers removed, fuel quantity 10 tons and balanced. Seatbelts on, ADRs. Oh, look at that. They actually seem to have some random drift now. Or maybe it's not random, maybe there is a logic behind that, can't know that. But they are not just showing 0.1 all the time like they used to before. That's an improvement. Okay, and Baroref QNH 1008 cockpit preparation checklist complete. Right then, let's start the APU. Fire test was done earlier already.
Eurowings, 8 uniform Mike, contact.
And then let's go ahead, close those doors, and be sure that we get pushback anti-departure clearance. So prepare pushback anti-departure. That should close the doors automatically, I hope. And we should arm at least one left and one right. You know, on a flight like this, you wouldn't walk through the entire cabin and arm everything. That just bears the risk of forgetting one when you leave the airplane. But you absolutely gotta arm the one left and the one right. But okay, this way we just have more running. That's fine with me as well. So they're setting up down there. In the meantime, we can do our performance, please. So zero fuel is 123.0 and the CG 25.3. So 1230/25.3. And that leaves us with a takeoff CG of 24.7, which is accurate. The real one is within 2%, that's absolutely fine. Okay, well, and that leaves our takeoff performance valid, so we can keep all those figures. Trim setting 6 units up. Like that, we can keep the entire rest, and that's good. Alright. So far so good. APU available.
Eurowings, 9er 366, radar contact. Climb and
so parking brake is still set, shocks and power are gone. Alright, looking good to me. Then let's get ready. So ground is on 12168 or 121.605. Let's use 605, I think that's the common frequency. And 118.305 will be next. Might as well tune that now already. No, there should not be any departure nearby.
Radar contact. Climb and maintain 10,000.
Okay. Düsseldorf ground, hello, Lufthansa 9er 17, request pushback and startup.
Lufthansa 9er 17, pushback and startup approved, face northeast.
Pushback and startup approved, facing northeast, Lufthansa 9er 17. Before start checklist, park and brake is set, takeoff speeds and thrust, V1 131, VR 134, V2 142, flex 55. Windows closed, bacon on and tasty, before start checklist complete. So, ground from flight deck, clear to push and start, facing north, and the parking brake is set. Roger, so that's nose left, release parking brake please. Parking brake released. Okay, start the pushback and stand by for engine start. Roger. So, give me the ground shot please. We're down here in front of the cargo building, which by the way has an excellent detail over here. That's one of the things that I really like about the sceneries from Yo Airland. He's just not only doing the passenger terminals like some developers do, but he puts the same amount of detail into the cargo facilities, into the maintenance facilities and everything. The entire airport just looks fantastic. Alright then, ground flight, starting engines 1, 2, 3, 4 in that sequence. So, FADEC power-up sequence has been slightly revised. And here we go, and then we're starting engine 1. So, N2 is rising, and once reaching 10% we can... Here we go. Start number 2. Okay, pushback completed, set parking brake. Why is this rolling forward? Stop. Parking brake set. GSX. So is it still doing something? Can't tell. Okay, tell you what, interrupt pushback, yes.
Eurowing 50 Charlie contact.
Here we go.
118.305.
Okay, so we've got a good start on engines 1 and 2, starting engines 3 and 4. Engine 3 start. Waiting for N2 to reach 10%. Someone asked me recently if the attention getter boxes would be realistic on the EAS-1 aircraft. And yes, they absolutely are. There are a couple YouTube videos out there where you can see an engine start on the IS-1, and you can see those boxes definitely exist. Even though they seem to be optional, because there are other videos, also from EAS-1 A340s, where they are not shown. So I suppose they're probably optional. But certainly not unrealistic to have them. Okay, so that looks like we've got a good light up on all 4 engines. Now just monitoring number 4, number 1. 3 is basically stable. Now it is officially stable with the avail light showing, and that's looking fantastic. Alright, so ground flight, we got 4 good engine starts, you're clear to disconnect. Show me the pin please on the left hand side and have a good day, bye bye. So, 5 units, should have been 6. Now this is a nice feature. Auto trim in the real aircraft isn't entirely accurate. You often have to retrim it manually. That's a really nice thing to see. So, after start checklist. Anti-ice off, ecom status checked, pitch trim 24.7%. That's looking okay. And rudder trim neutral, after start checklist complete. Lufthansa 99017, request taxi.
Lufthansa 99017, runway 23 left, taxi via Tango, Lima 3, November, Lima 1, Kilo 1.
Lufthansa 9er taxi to runway 23 left via Tango, Lima 3, November, Lima 1. Okay, we're gonna disregard that Kilo 1, that is nonsense, but clear left side, clear right side. By the way, if you're wondering, yes, I've seen the cockpit door open light. It's... you know, it's a ferry flight, so... So, for some reason, it's reset my throttle calibration. Let's just quickly set the idle position in here again. So, Tango, Lima 3, say Mike or November? November, okay. So that one. And then Lima 1. So, brake check. Pressure 0. The apron is rather small for an A340, but then again I'm probably just not used to it, because there used to be a time when airlines like LGU and Air Berlin just had A330s here en masse. By the way, very nice to see that something is actually inside the hangars, isn't it? Okay, so flight control check, please. Full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, rudder, full left, the plane should not be reacting to that, full right, and neutral.
Runway 23 left taxi via Lima 3, November.
Okay, so let's get her around the corner, and then we can do some more items. So 10 knots, here we go. ATC should tell us something, whether we are in front or behind of that A320. We're probably behind him, because, well, we are just not gonna fit there anymore. So keep her nice and slow. We don't want to damage her getting right out of maintenance, do we? Okay then, no changes to the takeoff briefing. Squawk is set. Radar on and takeoff config tested. Cool. Taxi checklist, please. Flight controls checked. Flap setting. Config 2. Radar and predictive wind shear. On and auto, engine start selector, norm, and ecom memo, takeoff, no blue. Taxi checklist complete. Okay, the left side is clear, the right side is clear. That's all looking fantastic. You wanted us on November, that's this one here.
Cleared for push and start.
Pushback approved. Eurowings 9580.
I wonder why Sane Tensions added those engine noises behind all the pilots, because in the real world we go to a great length to avoid exactly that. It's more of a VATSIM thing where people don't use calibrated microphones and just pick up all their simulator sounds, but in the real world definitely don't get that.
Eurowings 9580, runway 23 left taxi via Lima 7, Mike, Lima 1.
Runway 23 left taxi via Lima 7, Mike, Lima 1, Eurowings 9580.
She's just a nice looking airplane, isn't she?
305. Contact tower on 118.305 auf Wiedersehen.
118.305, Lufthansa 9er 17. Okay, well, suppose the U Air is still going to be in front of us. Let's just stop over here. And 128655 will be the departure frequency. Like that. Alright, cool.
Lufthansa 9er 917 Heavy, Düsseldorf Tower. You're on the ground at DI1 Core Düsseldorf.
Heading 032 at 0 knots. Seems like you're trying to defy gravity.
What? Oh, I would absolutely love to. But I think this gentleman there, he's trying to defy gravity. Just get your plane moving, please.
Say again, please. Twitch at 6 kilo Mike, contact ground on 121.605.
What is he doing? Get moving.
Ground 3 at 6 kilo Mike.
That looks ugly. So, is he going now? Yeah, now straight, straight, straight. You know that call sign was U air. I have a feeling that might be UT air. And I have a feeling that Russian might be drunk. But I tell you what, if he's just sitting there doing nothing, then I'm just going to turn the traffic off for a second so that he's gonna go away. Oh, now he seems to be going. Where is he? Traffic back on? Is he still there? No? Okay. Düsseldorf Tower, Lufthansa 999R17, ready for departure.
Lufthansa 99917, runway 23 left, hold short, you're number 1 behind the A320.
Hold short, runway 23 left, Lufthansa 999R17. Okay, but the A320 is no longer there, I despawned him. But the A320 is gone.
Lufthansa 99917 heavy, runway 23 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 23 left, cleared for takeoff, Lufthansa 999R17 heavy. Okay, so... Oh, come on. First of all, packs low, or rather pack flow low, and packs off. Here we go. Lineup checklist. Takeoff runway 23 left, Lima 1, TCAS, Tara, packs 1 and 2, off. Lineup checklist complete.
Lufthansa 99917 heavy, runway 23 left, winds 240 at 16, cleared for takeoff.
Yeah, we knew that already. Take off. Manflex 55, SRS, runway auto thrust blue. Thrust set. 100 knots, checked.
V1.
Rotate. Positive climb. Gear up. Nav. Checked. Eight 655 Lufthansa 999R17. Thrust declimb 2, climb auto thrust, flaps 1. Speed checked, flaps 1. And flaps 0. Speed checked, flaps 0. London radar, Lufthansa 999R17 heavy, passing 2,800, climbing 5,000.
Lufthansa 99917 heavy, Düsseldorf departure,
Climbing 5000, Lufthansa 909R17 heavy. Okay, vertical speed.
935 Golf, contact Niederrhein Tower on 129.405.
129.405 for Ryanair 935 Golf. Good day.
So, bye bye Düsseldorf. Been nice being here again.
Ryanair 903 November Delta. Lufthansa 90917, climb a flight level 170.
Climbing flight level 170, Lufthansa 909R17. Thrust declimb 2, climb alt cruise 17000 blue.
Setting to 5000, cleared for the ILS 319 approach. Eurowings.
Just gotta love this. Acceleration flow pattern, flaps up, spoilers retracted, landing gear up, packs on, and complete. Set standard. Standard. Cross-checked. Passing flight level 60. Now. Checked. Lufthansa 909R17. Any chance to proceed direct Charlie Oscar Lima?
Lufthansa 90917, clear direct Cola. Maintain flight level 170.
Direct Cola level 170, Lufthansa 909R17. Okay, to Cola and insert. So, track 118, that's kind of how I'm flying this, because I find it rather hard to just visualize it on the line in Airbus aircraft. Probably because there is no line going up here, but if we look up here, track 118, that's something I can fly down here. So if you've ever been wondering how I'm flying those planes, that's how. Okay, so you put that one down, please. And then we're going through 10,000. Let's start accelerating. Flight, signs, ethers can just stay like it is, and clear and copy, please. So 170 versus something much higher, which really shouldn't be much higher because the optimum altitude should take things like the trip length into consideration, but iniBuilds still has to implement that with the future updates. So one of the things that I really like about short flight like this one is that you can do them completely manually. Above level 240 you are required to have the autopilot on, but for a short one like this one, you can do it all by hand. And indeed, that is something that I would absolutely do in the real world on a trip like this. Nothing better than getting some hand flying experience in, and nothing better than being able to say that you have done a complete flight without autopilot, is it? I've done that in the real world, by the way. Couple times already. Basically whenever I have the chance and whenever the conditions allow. Like when there's bad weather or when it's super busy on the radios or when you're tired, then obviously you wouldn't do that. But on flights like this one, it's like what, 10:44 a.m. right now, so I would probably have gotten up at like 7 a.m. You know, take a taxi to Frankfurt, or rather from Frankfurt to Düsseldorf, which is a 2-hour ride, in which you can sleep. So the real one basically flew somewhere like down here. I think to Mefto is what they're using nowadays. Used to be Taunus VOR, but they no longer have that, so probably Mefto these days. 1,000 to go. So, search Frankfurt, APC East and APC West.
Expect the Rolly 5 Alpha arrival. I'll have you descending in about 15 minutes. Just say the word if you'd like to start down earlier.
Lufthansa 9R 9R17, cleared rollers, 5 Alpha arrival. So let's fly the level off. Standard rule of thumb applies. 1,000 feet a minute means 100 feet beforehand.
Expect the ILS Yankee runway 25 right approach into Frankfurt.
Expecting ILS Yankee runway 25 right, Lufthansa 9R 9R17. So I'll cruise, and here we are, flight level 170. Typical Airbus thing, the moment you reach cruising level, it changes its speed. But so be it, can't prevent that, so... Here we are. So, rollers, runway 25, where are they? Here we go, rollers arrivals 25. Then we also need the ILS Yankee chart. They need to bring some order into this. Here we go, tempo ILS Yankee 25 right. Okay, so I think something like Delta Fox 410 would be nice, wouldn't it? Let's see. Oh yeah. Lufthansa 9R 17. Any chance to proceed direct Delta Foxtrot 410? Nope, okay. To Cola, maintain level 170, Lufthansa 9R 9R 17. Okay. Flight director isn't commanding it yet, but I'm going to start that right hand turn now. Here we go.
Cleared direct Delta Foxtrot 410, maintain flight level 170.
Direct Delta Foxtrot 410, Lufthansa 9R 17. Okay, that makes it easy. That makes it really easy. And here we go. Delta Fox 410 now. Let's insert some altitude restrictions here to get some better VNAV profile. That's basically a beam, so if we make that one 6,000, we should be good. Okay, check destination data, we'll be doing that now. We are familiar with the procedures, so I'm just going to go through this, and look at that, the discontinuity is there now. That's an improvement over the earlier versions of the plane. And it's correctly drawn as well, no strange lines going across here. That used to be the case in earlier versions, but that seems fixed now. Wonderful. So, 3.2 degree glide, starting out of waypoint 430, go around past those right-hand turns. There's still a bug, those speed restrictions should be magenta, not white. But okay, the missed approach is correct down here. Then Frankfurt 25 right, gonna put that into here. Now for the performance, descent. Yeah, 280 is fine. We are just gonna keep that. No, destination weather, let's see. Frankfurt 240 at 10, 12 degrees, 1011. And the minimum is 560 on that one. Config 3. Go around MSA 4300. Alright, fuel prediction leaves us with 22 minutes. Copy active. Auto brake low. And that's it. Alright, weather is not really an issue for this one. And I think that's pretty much it. Cool, are you ready for the briefing? So, it will be a radar vector ILS approach Yankee, runway 25 right on Frankfurt. Minimum is 560, go around right hand turns with a couple speed restrictions, climbing 5000, MSA 4300. Extra fuel and time, we got 23 minutes in the form of 1,700 kilograms. Ooh, that's some nice turbulence here. Okay, so, let's request descent first. Lufthansa 9917, ready for descent. Descent flight level 090, roll is 5 Alpha arrival, Lufthansa 99917. So that's new as well. The decelerate shows up when you pass the top of descent now without initiating it. That's why I just delayed it slightly. And here we go, going down. Okay, so for the second half of the approach briefing, it's going to be a flight director guided ILS approach. Actually, I tell you what, it's going to be a raw data ILS approach, runway 25 right, Yankee. Config 3, idle reverse, vacate the runway to the left, using auto brake low. Stop margin will be more than enough, even though I haven't actually calculated it. Should probably quickly do that now. So, synchronize FMS, synchronize weather, config 3, with low auto brake, V-pilot, let's just add 5 knots for the sake of it. Alright, calculate. Surprise, stop margin 630 meters. So that's absolutely easy going. Okay, apart from that, nothing special, nothing non-standard. Threats for the arrival, honestly, nothing really, but I am gonna switch to the terrain display because we're flying over the towners here. That's all I have for you. Any questions or suggestions on the briefing? No? Okay. So, it tells me we're 1,000 high, but interestingly enough, it doesn't show that over here. The magenta dot should be showing at the bottom, and it should also give us that altitude deviation. So let's see if we can catch that dot here. Not that we need it, but let's put the seatbelt sign on anyway. So, expect Victor 135. That sounds okay with me.
Sky Europe 201, contact Frankfurt Tower on 136.
In the real world, they're usually putting you on the Foxtrot stance when you are ferrying an airplane. Had a couple of them, and basically always ended up... Let's see... Don't need to go to Düsseldorf charts anymore. APC West. I basically always ended up either over here or over here. But they want us on 135, that's over here. Interesting. Well, I'm going to request one of the fast shots just to keep it realistic. Extend speed brake. Yeah, I think we might have to. Oh well, actually not, because the 6000 over there is not a hard restriction, but a soft one. Let's do that. Thrust idle, open descent. And here is our dot again. So let's reduce that speed before reaching 10,000 here. Speed alt. Alt. Okay, and the speed's coming back nicely. Cross idle open descent. So that should give us roughly 1,000 feet a minute here. There we go. Looks good. Okay, lights on. EFIS is set, and we got GPS primary, high accuracy, mode selector norm. Lufthansa 9R9R17, request radar vectors for the approach. Speed alt stop. Let's already start reducing here.
Lufthansa 9R9R17, descend to flight level 073. Turn left, heading 065. Vectors for the ILS. Runway 25 right approach.
Descend flight level 70, left heading 065, vectors ILS 25 right, Lufthansa 9R9R17. First idle open descent heading. And manage speed, then we might as well just keep the speed.
Lufthansa 9R9R17, contact Frankfurt, approach on 118.505.
118.505, Lufthansa 9R9R17. Long radar, Lufthansa 9R9R17, heading 065, descending level 70. 1,000 to go. Checked.
Lufthansa 9R9R17 heavy, Frankfurt approach, descent 7,000.
Descending 7,000, Lufthansa 9R9R17. Set QNH, obviously it should have given us that as well. Alright then, QNH 1011 is cross-checked, speed alt star. Full speed 220. Okay, now that we're on QNH, let's do the approach checklist, please.
Lufthansa 9R9R17, descent flight level 060.
Lufthansa 9R9R17, descending 6,000. That really should have been an altitude, not a flight level.
9R9R17 heavy, 5 miles from Delta Foxtrot 480. Turn right heading 180, descend flight level 050 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 25 right approach.
Turn right heading 180, descent 5,000, cleared ILS 25 right, Lufthansa 9R9R17.
Frankfurt approach, Dolomiti 7 with...
Well, obviously that should not have been a flight level, but I don't really care. So that is looking okay for the time being. Then let's do the approach checklist, please. Bow ref, QNH 1011, seatbelts on, minimum is Bravo 560, auto brake, low, engine start selector,
Frankfurt approach,
norm, approach checklist complete, engine anti-ice on.
Radar contact.
Let's continue that turn to get a better intercept heading here. Should be about 220-ish.
Down to 5,000 cleared for the RNAV Yankee 25 right approach. Dolomiti 7 Whiskey.
Here we go.
Departure Tower 4.
And extend the center line, please.
Tower Tower 403, radar
So
contact.
Delta Fox 430 and speed all start. Pro jump. Ooh, that's a bit too much of a bank angle there.
4,000.
Sun Express 1 Sierra Papa, radar contact.
Rockstar, cut
Climb
one.
and maintain 12 1 2000.
12, 1, 2000, Sun Express 1 Sierra Papa.
Okay, so let's just finish that centerline extension here.
127.28.
Yeah, we'll just take that radial in, doesn't matter.
Switching to Frankfurt departure on 127.28.
Now, here's a bug. Heading, nav blue and glide slope blue? That's not supposed to be.
136.5.
1365, Lufthansa 99017. So, log start, cut 1, glide
Sun
slope blue.
Express 1 Sierra Papa, contact Frankfurt departure on 127.28.
Obviously, I messed up that radial over there, but I don't really care.
1 Sierra Papa.
Dollar 87 Whiskey Yankee, contact Frankfurt Tower on 136.5.
Frankfurt Tower, Lufthansa 99017, established ILS 25 right.
Language info on 123.525, East Sun Express 1 Sierra Papa.
So, activate approach phase.
7 Heavy, Frankfurt Tower, roger, continue ILS approach, runway 25 right.
Continue ILS 25 right, Lufthansa 99017. Manage speed. Glide slope alive. A little bit of a headwind there at 29 knots, that is good.
Condor 2038, holding short of 25 center, ready to go. Condor 2038, winds 240 at 10, runway 25 center, cleared for takeoff.
Flaps 1. Speed checked. Flaps 1. Glide slope star, go around altitude 5000 set.
Okay, switching to departure, Freebird 1244.
Okay, and with that we are established. Now, here's an interesting indication. If you look at the primary flight display, you can see that we got a drift angle of about 4 degrees here, because I've put the diamond right on the center line. But if you look at the nav display, where is that coming from? Oh, come on. That guy seems to be going right into us, is he? Tell you what, fly direct us off.
Established on the RNAV Zulu runway
Bird on.
right. Lufthansa 31 Hotel.
Where is that other guy?
Clear of conflict.
Well, thank you. Okay, so
Contact departure.
looks like we're still gaining a little bit of speed here. Gear down. And anti-ice off. Now, here's something wrong. If you compare the raw data,
0 at 10, runway 25 right, cleared to land.
runway 25 right, cleared to land, Lufthansa 99017 heavy. If you compare the raw data on here with the raw data on there, you can see there's actually a difference. This one tells me the left of center line, this one tells me the right of center line. No comment on that, huh?
Dollar 87 Whiskey Yankee, winds 240 at 10, runway 25 right, cleared to land.
Didn't he just clear us to land on that runway? Why is he clearing another aircraft? Okay, so flaps 2. Speed checked, flaps 2. Okay, flaps 3. Speed checked. Flaps 3. Okay, so cabin check is expected because there is no one in the cabin to press the button. So landing checklist, ECAM memo, landing 1 blue. Landing checklist complete. "16 knots of headwind. That means we're getting rather slow here, but that's fine. Checked. All right. Everything is stable, everything is done. Let's make it a nice landing. Landing aircraft on the ferry is notoriously hard because they just behave differently from what you're used to with your normal payload. That just looks so nice flying a beam the airport, doesn't it?
Yankee contact ground on 121.805.
300 above.
Checked.
200. Minimum.
Continue. That an airplane in the grass on the right there? Disregard the glide slope, we're on the puppies.
50, 40, 30, 320, 10.
No comment on that 737 there. Spoilers, reverse green, decel. Manual brakes. And here we go. Vacating that runway. Never managed to catch the first exit here in the real world with a wide body.
Lufthansa 90917, contact ground on 121.805.
121.805, Lufthansa 90917. So we want to go up here, huh? Fox 235. Frankfurt ground, Lufthansa 90917. Request taxi to gate Foxtrot 235.
Lufthansa 90917, taxi to cargo F235 via Papa 14, Papa 1, November 19er, November North. Good day.
Lufthansa 90917, taxi to Foxtrot 235 via Papa 1, November 19er and November North. Good day. Okay, so straight ahead and then across the bridge off to the left hand side, and then we have made it. After landing checklist, radar and predictive wind shear off. After landing checklist complete. He wants us to go via November 19er and then onto November North. So across the bridge, then to the right, and then straight to the stand. Okay. Oh, hello there.
Adriana 776, runway 25 center taxi via November 4, Lima 3.
Runway 25 center taxi via November 4, Lima 3, Asiana 776.
So Northeast cargo ram 235, please. Here we go.
Lufthansa 8 Lima November, runway 25 center taxi via November 5.
Handling by Fraport, and that's it.
Runway 25 center taxi via
Okay, November 19er to the right.
Lima 3, Lufthansa 8, Lima November.
Is over here.
CedarJet 218, runway 25 center taxi via
Start
November
APU.
1, Lima 1.
Runway 25 center taxi via NBlue, November 1, Lima 1, CedarJet 218.
And then we're parking right beneath, or right behind that wall. Hopefully not beneath it, that might turn out expensive. Okay. Lovely. So that's been our first flight with the iniBuilds Airbus A340. I hope you guys liked it. In version 1.02, of course. Now, I definitely did like it. Couple of improvements. 2 steps back as well with the raw data stuff that we've just seen, and with the fact that the engine out acceleration altitude is suddenly gone. But I think iniBuilds is just adding to the airplane. It's becoming better, you can absolutely feel that. And ultimately that's what counts. So a nice update once again. Obviously not the last that we're going to see for the airplane, but overall I think they are really going down a good path here. And all I can say is that it's really fun to fly her. Like, really fun to fly her.
Delta 107 contact tower on 136.5.
Tower Delta 107.
Okay, so lights off. And here we are. Brake set, APU on, and 4, 3, 2, 1. I suppose there is no cabin crew all doors and park over here, so we just gotta deviate from that procedure. All engines below 20. Power is there, APU can go.
3 Delta Golf ready for push and start.
Twidget 3 Delta Golf cleared for push and start.
Okay then, thank you very much. We heard what we had to hear. And then let's do the parking checklist, please. So that's parking brake shocks, brake set, engines off, fuel pumps off, parking checklist complete. Well, my friends, and with that, welcome to Frankfurt. I do hope you guys have enjoyed the flight. I most definitely did. Looking forward to the next one, but in the meantime, as always, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. And if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.